At 12:45 p.m. on a busy Monday afternoon, Wilshire Boulevard, one of Los Angeles' busiest corridors, was brought to a standstill. Pedestrians froze as a 53-year-old man swung a 3-foot metal pipe, the steel ringing sharply each time it struck the pavement. Moments later, a body-worn camera jolted violently. An LAPD officer had just been smashed in the head. Officers shouted, "Put the stick down," while the suspect taunted them, refusing to surrender. How did a simple harassment call erupt into a full-scale street battle in broad daylight? And what pushed this man to challenge armed officers with nothing but a metal pole? Wilshire Boulevard, stretching through the heart of Los Angeles, is a place where construction crews, shoppers, office workers, and tourists all share the same crowded sidewalks. On the afternoon of March 3, 2022, the routine noise of drills and traffic blended into an ordinary workday until frightened workers from a nearby renovation site made a 911 call.
Excuse me, hi.
Yeah, we have this guy who's down here. I'm pointing with my elbow.
Okay.
Down here, he's made it down there. He's like harassing all of our guys who are trying to fight.
Yeah, he's got a pipe. He has a pipe on him.
And kicking all this stuff and throwing drywall on their guys, and then trying to fight me when we're out here measuring because we're renovating the building. So he says this is his.
This
is his property.
This is his area.
We're in his space.
Okay.
A woman's voice trembled as she described a man pacing the property line, kicking debris, throwing drywall, and threatening workers with a metal pipe. She feared the nails, sharp tools, and broken construction materials scattered across the site could turn a confrontation deadly. "He keeps coming back. He's getting violent," she told dispatchers.
So he's becoming kind of violent, and I had to be able to go in the building to get away from him.
Okay.
And he just threw drywall. He didn't hurt anybody yet, but finally he went down there. He saw me on my phone, but he keeps coming back and forth.
The man was later identified as 53-year-old Timothy Camon, someone officers had reportedly interacted with before. Workers claimed he insisted the building was his property, aggressively confronting anyone who approached. While he had not yet seriously injured anyone, the unpredictable behavior immediately drew concern. When officers from the LAPD Wilshire Division arrived, they initially treated the situation as a disturbance, perhaps an intoxicated individual or someone in emotional crisis, but that changed within seconds. Camon emerged, metal post in hand, challenging the officers directly. What began as a simple call for assistance devolved into a violent confrontation that unfolded on one of the city's busiest streets, with civilians watching in disbelief as police issued warnings, deployed tasers, and finally resorted to beanbag rounds.
Get him again! No, what you doing? Back off! Back off! Back off! Get up closer, get up closer. 781, we're gonna be La Brea, just north of Wilshire. Hold him off.
How did a conversation turn into a head strike that nearly incapacitated an officer, and why did Camon refuse every chance to surrender? The call brought officers to Wilshire Boulevard and Detroit Street just after 12:45 p.m., where construction workers pointed toward a man pacing near a pile of debris. Bodycam footage shows officers approaching cautiously as one worker whispered, "He keeps coming back. He's throwing stuff. He's got a pipe."
So he's becoming kind of violent, and I had to be able to go in the building to get away from him.
Okay.
And he just threw drywall. He didn't hurt anybody yet, but finally he went down there. He saw me on my phone, but he keeps coming back and forth. So he'll be back.
Down there?
Yeah, that's him right there.
I see him.
So, you know.
You said he was throwing stuff at you guys?
Yeah.
When the officers made verbal contact, Timothy Camon turned toward them, gripping a 3-foot metal post. His movements were erratic, sometimes defensive, sometimes confrontational. One officer raised his hands in a calming gesture, trying to de-escalate. But Camon stepped forward, then another step. Then the tone shifted. "Put the stick down. Put it down now." Instead of complying, Camon shouted back, daring officers to act. "Shoot me. You want to shoot me? Do it." The tension escalated instantly. One officer's stance tightened, anticipating a sudden attack. The workers who had reported the disturbance backed away, retreating behind dumpsters and walls as Camon paced in a widening circle, gripping the pipe with both hands.
Pull it out! Pull it out! You shoot me then! Put the stick down! No! Put the stick down! No! Shoot me! Put the stick down. Get it back up.
Shoot me.
Get it back up.
Shoot me, thieves. Shoot me, thieves. 7-8.
Put the stick down.
No, motherfucker.
Put the stick down.
Shoot nothing. I ain't put nothing down.
Put the stick down.
Get away.
Officers attempted to contain him, forming a semicircle to prevent him from moving towards civilians. Their commands grew sharper, layered with urgency, but nothing broke through Camon's defiance. Instead, he edged closer, his eyes fixed on the nearest officer. Then he lunged. The metal post swung downward with force. A sickening crack echoed off storefront windows. An officer fell to one knee, struck in the head. The moment the pipe connected with the officer's head, the scene detonated into chaos. The injured officer staggered back, clutching his temple, while the others surged forward. "Tase him, Taser!" Electric prongs snapped through the air, striking Camon, but he barely flinched. Instead, he roared in anger, spinning the metal pole like a makeshift spear. Officers tried to maintain distance, shouting commands layered with desperation. "Drop the stick, get back. Put it down now." Camon didn't run away. He ran through them, charging across Wilshire Boulevard, weaving between passing cars, forcing officers to pursue him into open traffic. Pedestrians on the sidewalk scattered, some ducking behind bus benches, others filming with shaking phones. Bodycam footage shows officers firing beanbag rounds, the hollow thuds echoing across the boulevard. One hit Camon square in the torso. He grunted, but kept moving. Another round struck his thigh. Still, he advanced. More units arrived, some with foam projectile launchers, others positioning themselves to cut off escape routes. Sirens screamed in the distance as additional cars raced toward the scene. Camon stopped in the middle of the street, raising the metal pole above his head like a challenge. The officers braced themselves. He wasn't done fighting. Camon stood at the center of Wilshire Boulevard, breathing hard shoulders, heaving sweat streaking down his face. The metal pole dangled from his hand, but his eyes were locked on the line of officers edging closer. "Last chance, drop the stick," an officer shouted, keeping his beanbag shotgun trained on the suspect. Camon shook his head slowly. "I'm not putting nothing down," he barked, voice echoing between the buildings. A tense silence followed, just the hum of traffic halted at every intersection, and the distant flap of a police helicopter circling overhead.
Put the stick down. Get it back up.
Shoot me.
Get it back up.
Shoot me, thieves. Shoot me, thieves. 7-8.
Put the stick down.
No, motherfucker.
Put the stick down.
Shoot nothing. I ain't put nothing down.
Put the stick down.
Get away.
Put the stick down.
Nothing down. Nothing. Use it.
Put the stick
No,
down.
I ain't put nothing down. Yo,
Put the
please,
stick
man.
down.
Then Camon took one step forward, and another. That was it. 3 officers fired simultaneously, thump, 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 beanbag rounds hammering his chest, shoulder, and ribs. The impact staggered him. He swung wildly at the air, the metal post slipping from his grasp before clattering onto the pavement. An officer yelled, "Move, arrest team, go!" They rushed in. Camon fell backward, arms flailing, and hit the ground with a heavy thud. Even then, he resisted, twisting, shouting, incoherently kicking at the officers trying to restrain him. But the fight had already drained out of him. With coordinated force, they secured his arms, removed the pole from reach, and cuffed him on the asphalt as units announced Code 4 suspect in custody. The street exhaled. In the hours following Camon's arrest, investigators from LAPD's Wilshire Division and the Mental Evaluation Unit began piecing together what had led to this violent confrontation in the center of Los Angeles. What emerged was a picture of a man spiraling in a long-term mental and emotional decline. Neighbors described erratic behavior, claiming he had wandered the area for days, shouting at pedestrians, accusing strangers of taking his property, and scaring construction workers renovating the nearby building. One worker told investigators he kept saying this was his territory, like we were trespassing on land no one else could see. This aligned with officers' observations. Camon showed paranoia, disorganized speech, and delusional thinking, all classic indicators of an untreated mental health crisis. Toxicology reports are not publicly available, but detectives found no evidence suggesting he was under the influence of narcotics at the time. Instead, his behavior pointed toward a deeply destabilized mental state, likely worsened by homelessness, chronic stress, and possible prior trauma. Investigators also reconstructed the moment the officer was struck. Bodycam analysis confirmed that even after repeated verbal commands and multiple de-escalation attempts, including distance time and communication protocols, Camon suddenly lunged forward, swinging the 3-foot metal post with full force.
Step back! Step back!
Detectives later measured the impact mark on the officer's helmet and determined had the pipe struck just 2 inches lower, the officer could have suffered catastrophic head trauma. The use of force review concluded that the officer's decision to deploy tasers and beanbag rounds was lawful, measured, and necessary to stop an imminent threat. The case reignited questions about how many violent confrontations originate from untreated mental illness rather than criminal intent.
You know what? I understand. Get off my ear.
7 slow 10, we have code 4 in custody. 7 slow 10, I'm also going to need an additional supervisor to respond to our location.
Timothy Camon was taken into custody after officers finally incapacitated him with a combination of tasers and beanbag rounds. He was transported to a local hospital in stable condition and later booked on multiple felony charges, including assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer. The officer who sustained a head injury made a full recovery thanks in part to his protective gear and the rapid actions of fellow officers on scene. For the Wilshire community, the incident served as a stark reminder of how fast a routine call can escalate into a life-threatening confrontation, and how critical training and teamwork are in preventing loss of life.
Stand by! Stand by! Stand by! Hey, hold on! We need you! You got your arrest team! Yes, sir. Go! 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 Get on my side! What's in your hand? Step back! Step back!
This incident underscores a hard truth: violence can erupt without warning, even in the middle of a busy Los Angeles workday. One person's unraveling mental state or refusal to comply can put workers, bystanders, and officers in immediate danger. It's a reminder to report threatening behavior early, create space for de-escalation when possible, and prioritize community awareness. Cases like this highlight the thin margin between harm and survival, and the importance of supporting both public safety and mental health interventions. If you found this breakdown valuable, subscribe, share the video, and join the discussion below about what could prevent confrontations like this in the future.